Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lakeitra and you are watching Midlife Alchemist. And today we are going to do some foundation swatches. One of the things that I mentioned, let me get my camera right. I'm having a time. Okay. So one of the things that I mentioned in the previous video is that I was having issues with foundation oxidizing. And so what I want to do today is do swatches of all the foundations that I have and kind of get an idea of what's working and what's not working. I'm using natural light, so I'm hoping that that will help both me here at home and you watching the video kind of see what I'm working with. And I think what I will do is maybe insert a photo of the foundation swatches after a couple hours. I'm home today, so I can walk around my house and look crazy with swatches all over the place. So that will give us a better idea of kind of how things are oxidizing, and maybe it's just all in my head, but that's kind of the impression that I get when I look at pictures of myself, when I take pictures before I leave the house. And then if I look at my makeup around lunchtime or later in the afternoon, there definitely seems to be some oxidation with some of these foundations. So that sounds good to you. My new watchers, welcome. My returning watchers and my subscribers, welcome back and thank you. If you have not already done so, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into foundation swatching. Okay, if you see me looking down, it's because I have this new gadget that is supposed to help me stay in screen, and it actually is very useful, but the magnet where it's supposed to stick on the back of my phone is super weak, so I can't see it directly in front of me, which I absolutely hate. So work in progress here. This is a part of being a YouTube newbie, but if you see me looking down or looking around, that's what I'm looking at. So let's get started. Let's start with a concealer that I'm currently using for foundation because it's part of my project pan, and I have mentioned this before. It is Sephora Best Skin Ever Glow in the color 43. And it is considerably lighter. To me, it is considerably lighter than my skin tone, as you can see. But when I blend it out, because it is fairly light coverage, it does an amazing job of just evening out my skin tone and blurring out skin imperfections. So I wore this in the get ready with me video. The lighting wasn't that great, but you in that video, which I'll link in the cards, you can kind of see how well it blended out. So yes, I know for a fact this is really light, but it works. Next, let's do one of my favorite foundations, which is, if I can get this open, oh, the perils of not having any nails anymore, is, first of all, if I can show y'all. This is no longer available. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Buildable Coverage Foundation Stick. In the in the color, come on, focus, Mocha 500G. I switch between 500G and 520G. I feel like I could get away with either one of them fairly well. Like I said, this is no longer available. I guess I should put my light up. That might help too. Okay, so I got this off eBay. I think I've seen it on Poshmark as well, and it's probably on Macard and all the others. I was sick when she stopped selling this because I'm gonna say this is probably if not my absolute favorite foundation of all time, it's easily in the top 3. Easily. Probably in the top 2, honestly. So you can see it's a little a little slightly more on the golden side than probably it needs to be. I feel like for the most part, I am a true neutral. So there's that. Okay, I'm gonna try and keep these in order that I swatch them, so I know what I'm doing. Next, let's do the only 2 SPF tints that I have. First one is the Supergoop Protective Tint Daily SPF Tint SPF 50. And this one's actually got pretty decent coverage. It's not super oily or greasy or dewy. This is what it looks like in the bottle. I don't know that you get a ton of it. You can't really see the color. That the bottle is not completely clear. Shake, shake, shake. And I'll put a little bit on my finger. And hopefully y'all can see that. Yes. So again, looks a little light. But not terrible. By the way, that is a skin tint. The Huda foundation is buildable coverage, but I would say it's probably medium to full easily. And the concealer, obviously, it's a very light concealer. I don't feel like it's particularly buildable, but somebody out there probably has figured out the way. Next is, y'all can see this. Beauty of Joseon Daily Tinted Sunscreen, Fluid Sunscreen SPF 30. And this is the color DN310. I will say I am not particularly enthused. Unpopular opinion, I feel like I'm one of the few people in the beauty space that is not a K beauty, J beauty, C beauty enthusiast. It's the few products I have tried from all of those genres, they're fine. They're okay. I'm not wowed by them. As you can hear, this is very liquidy. It does need to be shaken up. I bought this in London because I didn't have any foundation. I didn't bring anything with me. I try not to travel with too many liquids, and so I picked this up at some drugstore that was in the mall. Let me see if I can show y'all this color, this swatch, without making a mess. Focus. That's what the swatch looks like. That's what we got working with. Not my favorite, just because it's too liquidy and it gets very, glowy and dewy, which I do not like at all. Just straight out the bottle, it's very glowy, very dewy. I have to use a lot of powder to set it down. I don't feel like it's very buildable. That being said, if I'm traveling and I want a minimal makeup and I want a 2-in-1, I want enough sunscreen, I want some type of coverage, it's fine. And then last one on this, on that side, I think, I'm going to do the Tirtir. What is this called? Let's see. This is a mini. It is called the Tirtir Mass Fit All Cover Cushion in 43N Deep Cocoa. This is the pink peachy one. I don't know if y'all can really see the color. It might be kind of getting washed out with the light. I think they have like 4 or 5 different cushion foundations. This is easily in my top 3 also of foundations. The color match, I say it's top tier and that it disappears on my skin. We about to find out if this foundation is gonna make a liar out of me. This is what it looks like. It looks very yellowish on camera. It's definitely not as yellow as it looks. And so I'm gonna swatch this with my finger, hopefully. Whoop. As the sponge falls out. Let's see if I can get enough. I don't know if y'all will be able to see this on my finger. Not of it. Y'all can't really see this on my finger. Hmm. Let me get a brush because this ain't working. Okay, I'm back. I thought I could do this with a finger swatch and it is not working. So let's see if I can do this. This isn't working. I'm sad because I wanted y'all to see. I don't think y'all can see this at all. So maybe that's a good thing, that because you can't tell that it's been swatched around my nose, on the perimeter of my face. Oh, okay. So you can see it up here on my temple. I think that's the best skin match out of all of these so far. Now we're going to do real foundation on the other side. I've got a couple. One, this used to be one of my favorites. I haven't used this in forever. This is my final bottle of it. And the bottle of it before the reformulation. And it is Sephora's Best Skin Ever. In the color 59N. Ooh, this is okay. So let's see if I can show y'all this color. There we go. Hopefully y'all can see that. So that's Sephora Best Skin Ever. ignore my dry skin and my need, a dire need for waxing, because that is on the calendar for tomorrow. My skin looks a lot drier and textured right now because I have increased the number of days that I'm using tretinoin. I'm doing it kind of in steps like you're supposed to. And now I've moved to 3 days a week instead of 2. And the peeling has started. So it'll take a couple weeks to adjust to that before I move on to 4 days a week. But that's why my skin looks a little flaky and peely. Next, we're going to do, this is a full coverage foundation, straight no chaser, full coverage. Like, this is the KVD Good Apple full coverage serum foundation in tan 78. Yep. I know for the girlies who've been in the community for a long time, when this hit the streets like crack, like I really thought this was going to be the comeback for KVD as a brand. They had a couple of hits in, was it 2025? And we never heard anything else. So I don't know what the point was. Like, what are we doing, sis? Okay. So this is what that looks like. That looks very light. Was I actually okay, but that looks very light on my skin. But when you look at my finger, I am so utterly confused. Y'all weigh in the comments, because what is happening right now? Next, we go do the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation in, was it 13 neutral? Brand new. I feel like this is not the right color. I feel like, so this one, I used to love this foundation. Not my top favorite, but I feel like previously I wore a darker shade. This don't sound right. So if this turns out to looks crazy, it's because I won't be surprised at all. Oops, that's a lot. And this is what that looks. That looks. That looks really, really light. Oh, I'm so glad I'm at home and I'm not going anywhere today, because I look real crazy. And last one is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder in the color 8.5. I have not worn this in a while. I think I tested it in the store when I first bought it and haven't touched it since. Although, well, I'm lying. Clearly there's a ding here. Maybe I need to put this in my project pan. I had the universal blurring balm in that was in my little travel kit, and I ended up using it up. And it was Okay. I remember liking this though, but this has a nice little dent. And when I see the dent, when I see the empty space, the pan, it makes me want to use it up. It's motivating. So maybe I need to put this in my next project. Hmm. I'm gonna use a brush. Let me swatch it for you, first of all. This absolutely looks like mud. All these colors look incredibly light. Okay. Oops. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? How? Mm, I'm gonna end up looking crazy. None of these foundations match. Okay, y'all. What we gonna do? Oops. Now that I'm making a mess, is check in a couple of hours, and we'll see if any of them have oxidized, and if so, how bad. And then the ones, I think maybe what I'll do, the ones that are closest to my skin tone after a couple of hours, I will take out the swatches and blend them out. So then we can have an even better idea of what the foundation actually looks like blended out. I recognize that swatches aren't a true representation of how it will look when it's blended out. I don't wear concealer. I wear concealer as foundation. So the only thing that would go on top of it potentially would be powder. Right now, I'm using translucent powder by one size, but typically I use the deep powder by one size. Um, so that kind of obviously would change the color a little bit as well and kind of deepen it up a smidge. But let's come back in a couple of hours, see what the foundations are looking like, and see which ones we want to do, like maybe 2 to 3, one on each side, and maybe my forehead, and kind of see what they look like, and then wear that for a couple of hours, and then we'll come back at night. Well, it'll be nighttime by then, and see what the final verdict is. So, see y'all in a couple of hours. All right, y'all, I'm back. It's been about 4-ish hours, and this is side one with the concealer, the Huda stick, and the 2 skin tints, not skin tints, tinted sunscreens, Supergoop and Beauty of Joseon. And then somewhere up in here, I think was the Tirtir. Wherever it is. Oh no, was it up here? Wherever it is gone. So obviously the concealer actually looks a little bit darker. So you can tell it definitely oxidized. Um, I think the Huda one looks great. Y'all tell me what you think. The skin tints are deceiving because they're squatches. You can't see how dewy and glowy and oily they get. The Supergoop looks great. Beauty of the Joseon does not. Um, and on the other side, we have the Sephora. What is it called? Best skinned ever. Still dark. That definitely oxidized even more. The KVD actually looks decent. The uh, I knew this was gonna look a mess. The Charlotte Tilbury. I don't I don't know how I got this color, but it looks crazy. It clearly is not my color. And then up here on my forehead, which I can only see an outline of it, and that's the only reason why I know it's there. Is the Danessa Myricks looks great. What have we learned, class? we have learned that number one, we can get rid of the Charlotte Tilbury. um, let's do a part. I feel like this is really dark, and I kind of want to blend this out. This is a Sephora Best Skin Ever, and see how this looks. Um, this is the Huda stick. It's got kind of a yellowish undertone, so I want to see what that one looks like as well. And this Beauty of Joseon, I can get rid of. I'm not attached to it. I'm okay with getting rid of that as well. So let's try the Sephora on one side, the Huda stick on the other. This is very light, even though it's a concealer. I wear it as a foundation. So I want to blend this out and see how it looks on my skin. Or should I do, that's the KVD. Actually, let's do the KVD. We'll do the Sephora and the Huda stick. Let me get this off my face. I will be back. We'll do one side, and my forehead. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Freshly wiped off face. First up, we're going to try is the Huda Beauty Stick. We're going to put that on my forehead. And hopefully y'all can see this. It is very yellow. It definitely has a yellow gold undertone to it. We're going to see what this looks like. Blend it out. I feel like this definitely has a very obvious yellow undertone. I'll go outside and take some pictures, see what this looks like. Well, the sun is playing peekaboo. So there's that. I was gonna say I would go outside and take some pictures in the natural light. We'll see if the sun comes back out. This is the KVD Good Apple, again in tan 78. I'm just gonna use a smidge. Okay, that didn't do anything. Let me stop playing. Let me do a full pump and stop playing. Because if I was actually wearing this as like a regular foundation, I would probably do two pumps. Okay. This is the left side, the side with the mole is the KVD. I think this is a good match. My concern is the oxidizing. Because this looks okay right now. You can see the difference. It's not bad though. You can see, I can see even in the camera, the difference between my forehead, which has a distinctly yellow undertone, and this side of my face, which has a very neutral undertone. So yes, I can tell the difference already. And I'm using different brushes so that there's no cross contamination in the coloring. And I'm also using different sections of the back of my hand. So you can see that I'm not mixing up the colors either. And that this is going to be the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. Okay. Whether I like this or not, I don't know how much shelf life this has because I can start to smell this a little bit. It doesn't stink, but it does have a smell. So the shelf life on this, I don't know how much life it got left in it. Again, this looks, now that this is blended out and not in a swatch, the color match actually looks decent. But I don't know about the oxidizing piece. So, Huda Beauty Stick, Faux Filter Foundation Stick, KVD Good Apple Full Coverage Foundation, and it is full coverage. And then the Sephora Best Skin Ever Full Coverage Foundation. This is what we got. We gonna rock this for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 hours at least, probably close to 6 hours, so I can get something similar to a decent what days wear. Come back, see how things have settled, see how things have oxidized. I did not use any primer. I'm not going to use any setting spray. I'm not going to use any powder. This is just pure foundation. I'm also going to be indoors all day in air conditioning, so that's something for me to keep in mind as well. It probably won't be as shiny or as glowy as it normally would, but again, we're just looking at color and oxidation. And I'll be back in a couple hours. Doodles. Hey y'all, hey, I'm back for the final check-in of the day on this foundation testing. It's been about 5.5 hours. I should have done a clock check-in and I completely forgot to do that today throughout this whole process, but here we are. The sun is slowly going down. It's evening time. I've been in the house all day, but let's check in. So first and foremost, this was the most yellowish foundation. That was a Huda Faux Filter Stick Foundation in 500G. And if you remember, this was pretty yellow. It has mellowed out considerably. I've done nothing to my skin. Haven't patted it, didn't put any powder on, didn't put any setting spray. This is literally me putting on the foundation that you saw in the earlier video and left it alone, walked away and did some stuff around the house. The yellow undertone actually has faded quite nicely on my forehead, and it actually looks really good. This side, I remember I was talking about the mold, so I know the difference, was the Best Skin Ever in 59N. And I was worried this was going to be a little dark because when I swatched it, it was definitely probably a shade or two darker than my skin. But after blending it out, letting this sit, this actually, again, faded, blended in quite nicely. We've definitely got some shine and some oil around there, some around the perimeter. There's some oiliness there, but overall, I think the color match itself looks really spot on. And then on this side was the KVD in the Good Apple Full Cover Serum Foundation in 1078. And I had a feeling this was going to be pretty spot on, but I wasn't sure if it was going to oxidize. And this is what we got. Definitely matte, no shine at all. You can definitely tell the difference between the two sides for sure in terms of finish and how well it has worn. I'm kind of surprised about the Sephora side because it is, it says long wear, best skin ever, perfect natural finish long wear foundation. Interesting. So all in all, I actually think all of these in terms of skin matching turned out very, very well. I am pleased. I will be keeping all three. I might put the Sephora one in my project pan for next quarter because it was starting to have a little smell, starting to have a little kind of almost like a acrylic paint smell almost. slightly. So that means I need to start working on it. Need to start using it up because I really do like it. And I have not tried the new formulation. This is the old formulation. So time for me to get busy. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, this foundation testing. Hope I found some swatch skin tone swatches, foundation color matching besties out there in the crowd. If you are my skin tone, if you are my foundation bestie, let me know down in the comments. If this video was helpful, please give it a like. Please subscribe. And I want to thank you guys for your patience, for your understanding, for your grace. Thank you for being here. And if you are so inclined, please leave a heart down in the comments to show some love to yourself and each other. And I hope to see you next week in the next video. Doodles.